Good afternoon, and welcome to the lunch break. Welcome to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of said lunch break. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, because I posted a link to it on Twitter, but of course, Twitch, FireTV, and Roku via the BS3 network. Going to get right into it. My goodness, there's a lot to talk about in these 55 plus minutes or so. Go to Roku, download the app for BS3 TV. BS3 TV, changing the way you watch TV. You see it crawling across the bottom of the screen. If you're watching live, there are ways to support the Roundball Review via Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal. I have QR codes, and I'll show that later on in the show. Corey Miller, how are you doing? Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment. Let's get into it. I got a lot to talk about. Coogs, Rockets. I might even get to the Rockets. Rice and their Fan Fest coming up on this coming Saturday. Different start time about that because the turf on the inside stadium has not been replaced yet. It's not done. So they're going to be in the practice field for some of that. But into it. Got this info, some intel via CollegeAD. And it's funny how this all ties together based on my colleague, Joseph Duarte, as well. And he reported earlier today, but this is from yesterday, what I'm sharing it today. Houston's search for Chris Pezman's replacement appears to be drawing to a close. Rex, how are you doing? Thank you as well for always supporting the show by watching. Roughly 8 weeks after President Renew Couture opted to make a change at the top of the Cougars athletic department. The process, which has seen its fair share of twists and turns, their words, not mine, really kicked into high gear early last week when Houston met with 6 candidates as part of a virtual round interviews, according to sources. With that portion of the process in the books, sources tell CollegeAD that Houston has now moved to the final stages of its interview process. Sources tell CollegeAD that at least one final candidate visited with Houston August 13th. It's currently unclear how many candidates Houston is speaking with as part of the interviews. However, this is important, Rex and Corey. However, we're hearing that a Power 4 deputy who has previously not been linked to the search has started to emerge in the process. Earlier this week, Joseph Duarte from the Chronicle wrote, New Mexico Athletic Director Eddie Nunez and David Fletcher, the GM for Lone Star Sports and Entertainment, are among the finalists for the job. One source classified Nunez as the front runner for the job. 2 other candidates are believed to still be in the mix. Nevada A. Stephanie Rempe and Kelly Zinn, the executive deputy athletic director and COO at LSU. Ms. Wanda, how are you doing? Next slide is important. This is this morning from Joseph. Tennessee Deputy AD Ryan Alpert is among the finalists for the vacant AD job. Alpert, 36, who has been the Vols COO since 2021, is believed to have met with UH officials on Wednesday night, including football coach Willie Fritz. A source described Alpert as, quote, strongly in the mix. Alpert currently handles major projects that total more than $500 million at Tennessee. So let me go back to it. CollegeAD said, we're hearing that a Power 4 deputy who has previously not been linked to search has started to emerge in the process. CollegeAD, that was August 14th. Today, August 15th, Joseph Duarte writes that Tennessee Deputy AD Ryan Alpert is now, quote, strongly in the mix, end quote. Interesting, or very interesting, very interesting. I got some info on all of those folks that I'm going to share momentarily. But I'm going to give, that's a little teaser for y'all. Going to back it up just a little bit and talk some hoops and some other stuff. Let me get some credit to QB Donovan Smith, because about an hour and a half ago on this Thursday morning, Donovan Smith named to the Manning Award preseason watch list. Salute to him. He is recognized as one of the top 29 QBs in college football. The winner will again be selected by a voting panel, which includes national media and each of the Mannings. Donovan is one of 6 active Power 4 QBs with 15+ rush touchdowns, 40+ passing TDs since 2021. His 6 games with a 75% completion rate since 2021 rank 5th nationally among active Power 4 QBs, and his 15 deep pass TDs, that's 20+ yards, since 2021 rank 2nd among current Big 12 signal callers. The Manning Award was created by the Sugar Bowl in honor of the college football accomplishments of Archie, Peyton, and Eli Manning. It is the only quarterback award that includes the candidates' postseason performances in its balloting. The Big 12 and SEC led the way with 6 selections, followed by the ACC with 5. Rex says, all right, D. Smith. Miss Wanda Polk says, congrats, Donovan. Rex, another comment from Rex, remembers Clayton Tune was on that list his senior year. So, yes, salute to Donovan Smith. I'm getting closer to getting the info about the AD candidates, but we're going to talk about that a lot on this show, but a little bit more basketball hoops. Here is what is known so far about the Cougars women's basketball non-conference schedule. I said last Thursday on the show that the Cougs are waiting for one more signed contract, and once they get that, they will release the entire non-conference schedule. But this is what's known. They're at Rice on November 14th, Thursday, probably 7 o'clock start. They'll host HCU Houston Christian on November 17th at 2 p.m. And they'll also participate in the Big Easy Classic in New Orleans, November 29th and 30th at Alario Center. They'll face Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, Friday on the 29th at 1:15 tip-off. And then on Saturday the 30th, they will face Pacific at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. I know everyone is a huge fan of UH women's basketball, so mark your calendars to get those tickets ready to be Kansas City, Missouri for the 2025 women's basketball Big 12 tournament, March 5th through 10th at T-Mobile Center. Technically, Rex, you are correct. I wish it would happen at some point. Yes, have a Houston tournament, but about close we're going to get it's like that. But all right, next, just posting this again because not much has changed, except the location of the Cougs Aggies exhibition game will be at Fertitta Center now, rather than TSU's H&P Arena, 4 o'clock on Sunday, October 27th. Tickets are not yet available, but tickets will be available for purchase because it is an exhibition game. It is not a scrimmage. It is not a secret scrimmage. It is not a closed scrimmage. It is an exhibition game for charity, all right, for charity. So because it's for charity, the NCAA allows tickets to be sold for fans to attend. So keep that in mind. And of course, once I hear more about that, I'll share it on this show as well as on my other platforms, and specifically, of course, on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. But you can watch and get that content on Threads and TikTok and Spoutable and Facebook, etc. All right. Notice the dates for the opponents for the Players Era Festival still haven't been posted yet. Okay? So don't go what you see on ESPN or CBS Sports, whatever. It is still not yet confirmed that the Cougs will face Alabama on that first day, November 26th. All right? I'm sticking with it. Y'all can say, Chris, you lost your mind. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Some folks, I just 30 years. And I'm just, okay, whatever. All right. The candidates. Some info about the candidates for the AD job. This is a lot. I compiled this stuff from their bios posted on their respective websites. So we're going to get to it. First up will be Eddie Nunez. And 3 of these 5 have connections with SU. 1 worked there currently, 2 worked there previously. But Eddie Nunez named AD New Mexico 7 years ago. I try to focus on the key points for Houston interest. Under Nunez, New Mexico has entered partnerships with Play Fly Sports, formerly Outfront Sports, rebranding UNM's external marketing arm as New Mexico Sports Properties. Nunez also extended the department's long-standing partnership with Nike to continue as the official outfitter of the university's athletic programs. He has also led the restructuring of the Lobo Club to streamline, align, and enhance the fundraising efforts towards UNM athletics. And let me just stop right there. That is sorely needed at Houston. Sorely. Streamlining, improving it, all of that is sorely needed. Fundraising, athletics, communication, all of that is just truly needed for Houston. All right, back to it. This new restructuring has been instrumental in improving donations, increasing Lobo Club membership, improving customer service, and reestablishing trust with donors and supporters. Ahem. Miss Wanda, I'm sure you can relate to that. During Nunez's tenure, the Lobo Club Champions Council has continued to grow in members and in financial support. That's important. For 14 years, starting in 2003, Nunez served in a variety of high-level administrative capacities at LSU, one of the nation's top athletic departments. We all know that. He also has served as the department's liaison with LSU Sports Properties, the Tiger Athletic Foundation, and University Licensing and Brand Management. While he held 7 positions and titles at LSU, the department continually flourished. Under his guidance, LSU experienced $400 million in facility renovations and construction. $400 million. And Nunez led the renegotiations of a 10-year multimedia rights agreement with Outfront Media Sports, is now Play Fly Sports. Additionally, Nunez oversaw the planning and management of the LSU Athletic Strategic Plan, marketing and promotions, athletic communications, social and media, creative services, video/network broadcast services, and all capital projects. So that's info about Eddie Nunez at New Mexico, the AD, who was 2 days ago, quote unquote, the front runner for the job at UH. He's no longer the front runner based on info that Joseph Duarte wrote today about Tennessee Deputy AD Ryan Alpert, who I'll get to shortly. And you're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, FireTV, Twitch, and of course Roku via the BS3 network. Here we go. Ryan Alpert is the new person. I had to scramble to get this in for the show. In his current role at Tennessee, Ms. Wanda Polk, you are welcome. Rex says Nunez sounds solid, especially his LSU experience. That's why I put it in there. In his current role at Tennessee, Alpert oversees several major capital projects that total nearly $500 million in total project costs, including a $337 million renovation at historic Neyland, some say Neyland Stadium, a $45 million renovation of the Anderson Training Center, and a $95 million renovation of Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Alpert serves as the campus and athletics lead on one of the most transformative projects in all of college athletics, the Neyland Entertainment District. The public-private partnership aimed at the development of a first-in-class entertainment district spanning the Tennessee River waterfront near historic Neyland Stadium. John Cardenas, welcome. He likes Nunez. Well, see how you feel about the other candidates based on when I share more details about them. Revenue generation has skyrocketed under Alpert's tenure at Tennessee, after finishing with an all-time high of $154 million in athletics revenue in the 2022 fiscal year. Tennessee Athletics posted a record amount of just over $202 million for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. Alpert also has complete annual budget oversight and long-term financial forecasting for the department. Is UT's lead on football scheduling, adding key games to the Vols' future schedules. Once again, that info is about Ryan Alpert, who, based on today and reporting from Joseph Duarte, is strongly in the mix. But I think based on sources at CollegeAD, he was that Power 4 deputy who was rising up the list of potential hire for the spot at Houston. So keep him in mind. At Missouri, he worked at Missouri before LSU. He's had a lot of experience on the Power 4 level. But at Missouri, his second professional tenure there, Alpert was charged with developing new revenue streams, which is key at Houston, supporting the Tigers' 20-sport intercollegiate athletics programs, while also providing leadership and oversight of the Tiger Scholarship Fund, TSF, ticketing and marketing staffs. He also served as the department's liaison to Mizzou sports properties and was the sport administrator for the men's and women's basketball programs. His TSF staff, that's the Tiger Scholarship Fund, raised a record $55.5 million during the COVID year, 2020-21 fiscal year, exceeding its projected goal by more than 250%. Despite unprecedented hurdles related to the pandemic, Alpert led Mizzou past the $50 million threshold for the second time in the department's history. Corey Miller says that is one hell of a resume. Indeed, he's impressive. All right. Next, Kelly Zinn, the first woman to lead the athletics department of West Virginia University, was hired in July 2022 as Executive Deputy Director of Athletics and Chief Operating Officer for LSU Athletics. See, the second person with ties to LSU. Zinn renegotiated LSU's multimedia rights partnership, securing a 21% increase in value, while the 2022, 23, and 23-24 seasons also saw a remarkable increase in ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and donor support. Zinn's dynamic approach and ability to foster collaborative relationships played a crucial role in the growth of NIL LSU. This is a great point. Great. by Mr. Cardenas. I wonder which of these candidates is within UH's price range. I hope the fact that these are the finalists, that they have already discussed salary, and UH has gotten off those awful, antiquated, small-time penny ante offers that they were considering prior to this stage, and they are behaving like a big-time program, hopefully. Through innovation, fan engagement, forging partnerships with local businesses, and reimagining sponsorship opportunities, LSU has firmly established itself as a leader in the NIL industry, which Houston sorely needs improvement in that area. Surrounded by some of the world's most sought-after college athletes, Zinn secured a lucrative and unique access and rights agreement to produce The Money Game, an NIL-focused documentary series following Tiger student assets, during the 23-24 season. The series is scheduled to premiere on Amazon Prime Video later this fall. Zinn arrived in Baton Rouge with nearly 2 decades of experience in Power 5 athletics. She served as Deputy AD at West Virginia, Big 12 school, from 2016 to 2022, providing strategic direction and operations management to the Mountaineers' 18 intercollegiate programs and 250 coaches and staff. A graduate of WVU, Zinn returned to Morgan in 2010 as Associate AD for Compliance and Governance, and in 2014, she was elevated to Executive Senior Associate Athletics Director. Previously, she served as Assistant AD at Maryland, 2005 to 2010, and as a Compliance Assistant with the Big East in 2003-2004. So there's info on Kelly Zinn. CA37, is Pez still money? Yes, he is. Yes, he's going to be paid for the next, what is this, 16 months, roughly $20,000 a month, roughly. I think he's owed $320,000, between $320 and $360, something like that. He's still owed money, yes. So Pezman is still getting paid by UH, yes. So Houston is still paying Dana, still paying, yes. yes. What can you, yeah, whatever. Cooking it. Cooking it, that's what we do. All right, another candidate from Nevada, Stephanie Rempe. She was named AD at Nevada June 21st, 2022. Rempe oversaw all aspects of one of the country's largest and most successful intercollegiate athletics departments at LSU. An LSU connection again, serving as the school's Executive Deputy Director of Athletics and Chief Operating Officer since 2019. She has established herself as one of the country's most respected athletics administrators during a distinguished career spanning more than 25 years. Rempe has worked at a senior leadership role at 5 D1 athletics programs, supervising sports, coaches, and department staff. At LSU and Texas A&M, she has served as the Chief Operating Officer, where all coaches and staff reported directly to her. At LSU, Rempe led and negotiated the contracts for the high-profile hirings of new men's and women's basketball coaches and a new head football coach. She also supervised contract negotiations and hirings of head coaches in an additional 7 sports. She also played key roles in negotiating media rights and apparel agreements, enhancing collaboration across the Tiger athletic programs, media units, and in creating new initiatives in fundraising during a highly challenging pandemic era. At Texas A&M, and also serving as the Chief Operating Officer, Rempe was the sport supervisor for the football and men's basketball programs. was the department's liaison with the 12th Man Foundation, System General Counsel, and Learfield's multimedia rights relationship. Learfield, whatever, it's another story. But she also played an integral role in the completion of several capital investment improvement projects, including new track and field and softball facilities. In addition to her positions at LSU and Texas A&M, Rempe previously served as the associate AD at Washington from 2008 to 16, where she directly supervised several athletic teams and managed capital projects that included a $285 million renovation of Washington's football stadium and, of course, Husky Stadium. So there is Stephanie Rempe. Next, known locally, you're a college football fan, really, you know the name of this person, Mr. Lone Star Sports Entertainment, David Fletcher. David Fletcher became executive director of the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl and the Advocare Texas Kickoff, as well as the director of Lone Star Sports and Entertainment 10 years ago, January 1st, 2014. He was promoted to general manager of Lone Star Sports and Entertainment on April 1st, 2016. During his time leading LSSE, David has solidified NRG Stadium as one of the premier destinations for sporting events in the world. He's overseen some of the biggest sporting events to ever come to Houston, including the most attended college football game, that 2014 Texas Kickoff, the most attended bowl game, the 2015 Bowl, and the most attended soccer game, the Copa America U.S.-Argentina semifinal, along with a number of other world-class events like the first ever Manchester Derby played outside the UK between Man U, Manchester United, and Manchester City in 2017. David joined the Houston Texans in 2010. Prior to leading LSSE and the Texas Bowl, he most recently served as the director of corporate development and broadcast sales of the Texans, negotiating and managing a number of the team's major corporate partnerships while helping to build and oversee one of the largest in-house media platforms in the NFL. In October 2012, he added the responsibility of the same role with Lone Star Sports and Entertainment, leading local corporate sales efforts for the Texas Bowl and Texas Kickoff. He started his career as an intern with the Houston Texans in 2002 and followed with positions at Click Channel Radio and the Rockets before returning to the Texans in 2010. So that is a summary of 5 of the candidates. 5 of CollegeAD says 6 candidates UH has spoken to first virtual interviews last week. Your thoughts on those 5 that I have shared some info about. And again, let's see if I can get back to that slide. Let's see here. According to CollegeAD, UH met with the 6 candidates as part of virtual round interviews. And key, and this next one, it's currently unclear how many candidates Houston is speaking with as part of the interviews. However, we hear a Power 4 deputy, and that has to be Mr. Alpert, Ryan Alpert, as Joseph Duarte wrote this morning, who met with UH last night, Wednesday night, and he met with Coach Fritz. Alpert is described as, quote unquote, strongly in the mix, end quote. Rex 32 says his ranking from first to last: Alpert, Fletcher, Nunez, the other 2, Kelly Zinn and Stephanie Rempe. Why do you have Fletcher over Nunez, Rex? And let's see. Question from C37. Do I think the new AD will have an advantage over Pez with the hire of Alison White? Yes, because he can focus on fundraising. And I'll get to that info that I shared a few days ago about Alison White, as CollegeAD reported that Houston was close to hiring Alison White, and her job will be this: major gifts. So money, fundraising. that's her focus. But Rex, why do you have David Fletcher from Lone Star Sports and Entertainment, who has no prior experience as a director of athletics, but he's been working on the corporate side as sports entertainment? Why do you have him higher than Eddie Nunez, who does have experience as an AD? Just curious. Some folks don't like the fact that Fletcher has no experience as an AD. It's too far outside the box. I'm okay with it. I like the outside the box thinking, but I think there are other candidates, and I think Alpert probably has more connections, more experience, done a great job, hell of a job raising money. But we shall see. I've over just a little bit. It is the bottom of the hour. CA says Fletcher has that Brett Yormark feel. And that was one of my initial reasons for considering him. And I just think, from what I heard initially, that there were some folks at UH, because of that Brett Yormark feel, because of the outside the box thinking, they're like, no, we're not going to do that. I am pleasantly surprised that he's gotten this far in the process, honestly. But yes, bottom of the hour, if you are a regular supporter, viewer of this show, the takeover on Thursdays of the lunch break, I play the promo spot for BS3 Network. So I'll do that and be back in 35 seconds. You are watching the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Be back shortly.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I'm, of course, Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. If you missed it, first half of the show, I pretty much gave a rundown of 5 of the candidates for the Director of Athletics job at part of the search process. Ryan Alpert, the current Deputy AD at Tennessee, seems to be really, really qualified. And he seems to be the one that's got the shine right now, which is different than in Monday when Eddie Nunez was considered the front runner for the job. But appreciate that. Support is support. CA37, I thank you for your support. Word of mouth is good, and anything else you can do is also appreciated. No worries whatsoever. And to that, it's a nice segue. Very good segue. There's new options, new ways for people to support the Houston Roundball Review. Scan those QR codes. Got one for Cash App, one for Zelle, and got one for PayPal, the Houston Roundball Review tip jar. So 3 different ways, 3 different new ways to support the Houston Roundball Review. Scan those QR codes, Cash App, Zelle, or the PayPal tip jar. And as you're watching, you also see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Back at it. Shifting gears to the pro side real quick. Because in 90 minutes, the NBA will announce the schedules for all the teams for this upcoming 2024-25 season. That includes the Rockets. On Tuesday, the NBA announced the schedule for the NBA Cup 2024. I'm not going to name a sponsor because the sponsor's not paying me, so why should I name them? But yes, the NBA Cup, that's what it's called now. No longer the in-season tournament. It is the NBA Cup. First year under that name. But the Rockets schedule for group play, Group A. The Rockets are in West Group A of the 2024 NBA Cup with the Clippers, Minnesota, Portland, and Sacramento. First up is part of group play, and group play games take place on Fridays and Tuesday. Friday and Tuesday, November, and then that first Tuesday in December. That's group play. You got 4 games of group play. Team with the best record and wins this group advances to the knockout round. And they advance on, and then the Final Four go to Vegas for the Final Four semifinals. Winners of the semifinal games score off for the title game, the winner of the NBA Cup. There you go. But the Rockets Clippers on Friday, November 15th, here in Houston. Then the following Friday, November 22nd, against Portland, also in Houston. And then they go on the road for the final 2 games of group play. That Tuesday, November 26th, at Minnesota, Target Center. And then Tuesday, December 3rd, at Sacramento, 9 o'clock, the Golden One Center. So go on that. And of course, once the Rockets schedule is announced, and I'll post it on the website, my website, HoustonRoundballReview.com. And then I'll have a Let's Talk Houston Rockets show where Rocket fans and I can go over the schedule and they can make their predictions, and I'll start charting them, and we'll go for that, have some discussion on the schedule and make predictions for how many games the Rockets will win and all that fun stuff. So that's part of the next edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel so you can receive notifications of when new shows and new content is posted on this channel. But next, as soon as I can find it, going to pull up, I think I got it right here. All right. This is from a few days ago. And I agree, but I go your question about salary. Will he want too much money? Because let me put myself on the screen. Chris Pezman, his base salary was $350,000, $350,000, $360,000 from Houston, with incentives like teams going to bowl games, APR, academics, success, all those different things. It ended up like $550,000 with everything included, $550,000, maybe even $595,000, something like that. But base salary was like $350,000. Comparison, Eddie Nunez at New Mexico, his base salary is $360,000, $360,000. Not sure what all the incentives are in our deal at New Mexico, but Nunez, this is last year of his deal at New Mexico. He has no buyout. So if he leaves New Mexico for UH or another job, he does not owe any money. There's no buyout to be paid. But his base salary was similar to Chris Pezman's base salary here at Houston. And that's at New Mexico. So I don't know what Ryan Alpert's making at Tennessee. Pretty sure it's more than $360,000. And see, exactly. That's the G5 program at New Mexico. So, hey, Ryan Alpert seems to be very qualified, for sure. But good grief. CA37, appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. But seriously, I have to find it after the show because everything was squeezed in. Hey, I wonder how much Ryan Alpert is making at Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee, they got serious bank. Their budget dwarfs Houston's athletic budget. So what could Houston be offering him for salary that he would consider taking the job at Houston? Or it's trying to get a raise out of Tennessee because he's done a great job at Tennessee in his short time there. Job at Missouri. Those are 2 SEC programs who have media right money for years to go to their athletic budgets. Houston doesn't have that, hasn't had that. They won't receive a full share from the Big 12 until next summer. So, but yeah, so we shall see how much Ryan Alpert qualifications, the fundraising experience on a power level, all that's, yes, he sounds like the number one choice. But if it comes down to money and the salary, maybe Eddie Nunez would be more realistic for Houston. We shall find out. And hopefully, Houston will announce a hire and make it official before the game, the kickoff season opener on August 31st against UNLV, the home opener. Please, that's 2 weeks, 16 days. Come on, make an announcement. You can announce that one, and then a day later or a day before, announce the hire, make it official with Alison White joining the Cougs as associate AD for Major Gifts. And this is from CollegeAD, a legit source in athletic directors, news and info in college sports. Says Alison White will join the Cougars as the department's associate AD for Major Gifts. She's currently at Tulane, so she has ties with Coach Fritz. Prior to Tulane, she worked at Cal Berkeley for 3 years as associate director, leadership giving, fundraising. You know, I love these titles. These titles are just so nondescript, but fundraising. These are the duties, some of the duties, the summary of the position that Alison White will be believed to take over soon. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, he has to be part of the process. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. CKS says Coach Kelvin Sampson. Yes. Yes. But the job summary of the associate AD for development, Major Gifts. This person will report to Alvin Franklin, who is the current associate AD / executive director of development. Title. But the primary focus of the position is to develop and execute short and long-range strategies that identify, cultivate, solicit, and steward prospects capable of making major gifts to Houston athletics. All right, CA, thank you very much. Second one received. Truly appreciate you and your support. Don't be a stranger. That part, you made your gift. Keep your comments and questions coming. Maybe on a lighter note. I hope not. But I would hope that all the coaches have had some input. But no, seriously, I know you're kidding, but Coach Huey, women's hoops is on the hierarchy. You know, it's football, men's basketball, and then other sports around the country. Women's basketball is up there. Houston, nowhere near that. But anyway, the major gift roles is highly collaborative, committed to a culture of excellence, demonstrates advanced fundraising competencies, and helps sustain Houston athletics fundraising success and growth through their leadership. And this is a position that Alison White will be taking over. Some of the duties: develop and manage a portfolio of 175 plus major gift prospects. That's a lot. I'm surprised at that many. Conduct at least 15 to 20 strategic moves with prospects and donors per month, and participate in a minimum of 40 plus solicitations per year. Provide leadership and guidance to the Director of Donor Relations and Stewardship to execute the newly created Major Giving Society. Serve as the fundraising contact for multiple sports that will be assigned by Alvin Franklin, the Senior Associate AD / Executive Director of Development. And then for assigned responsibilities, execute strategic priorities as defined by leadership that advance the department's vision, mission, goals, while driving results, growing the donor base and revenues that are much needed for success. Agreed. All right. So that is some of the duties of the position that Alison White will be taking over. Some of her experience She's currently at Tulane. She managed a portfolio of 100 plus prospective donors to shape fundraising goals and opportunities. Led Tulane's athletics fundraising fiscal year 23 with $2.6 million in commitments. Now, let's contrast that. In the last line, she managed a team that shattered the fiscal year goal by $14 million. Excellent. That is outstanding. Tulane, that's impressive. Ryan Alpert numbers, what was it? 250% increase at Missouri during the pandemic. In charge of a $500 million project at Tennessee right now. Wow. So Tennessee, LSU, New Mexico, Eddie Nunez, Tulane, but Alison White's role, she's not going to be the AD. She is not going to replace Chris Pezman. She's going to be focusing on major gifts. And as one alum told me, let's also hope she's going to be in charge of minor gifts as well, because all the money adds up. You don't have to spend all your time with the big time corporations. Get to that mid-tier corporations, the small business owners, they got money too. They are UH alums. They want to be contacted. They want to help out any way they can. So don't forget those folks as well. All right, Rice Owls, these last few minutes of the show. Their Fan Fest announced last week at a 6 o'clock start and going to be inside the football stadium has changed. It's going to be now a 5 o'clock start, and location will be at the practice field because Hurricane Beryl did damage to the turf, the field turf inside Rice Stadium, and they are still in the process of replacing the turf inside Rice Football Stadium. So everything has moved up a bit. So 5 o'clock start, Rice Stadium West Concourse at the practice football field. More detailed, specific. Rice going to start at 5 o'clock. West Side gates 1 and 2. As members of the cross country, soccer, and volleyball teams will sign autographs beginning at 5:15. The football team will host an open scrimmage on the grass practice field beginning at 5:30. You can RSVP to win a chance to win 2 free reserved season tickets for the upcoming football season. At the conclusion of the scrimmage, the football team's leadership council, I think it's 14 of them this year, it's a lot of them, will sign autographs. The event will give members of the Rice family and friends in the community their first chance to celebrate the start of the upcoming athletic season and meet and greet their favorite players and teams. Activities during the kickoff event will include the Shop Rice Owls team apparel shop and a variety of family-friendly fun, such as food trucks and an inflatable kid zone. And go back to the flyer. One big difference. So you got the food trucks, the kid zone, brew samples, brew, your favorite brew, the cool breeze zone, face painting, balloon artist, the team shop, a roaming photo booth, DJ cap, ice treats, free refreshments, autograph session. One thing that has been removed is there won't be a chance to do the field goal tries that was slated, would have been taking place inside the stadium because of the ongoing replacement of the turf. Not doing that. So if anybody attended the Coogs Fan Fest from Wednesday night, let me know how it went. I'm curious. I wasn't able to attend because I was doing all this info, compiling and stuff and getting the intel regarding Houston's AD search. If you were able to attend, let me know how it went. Did you like it? You didn't like it? Was it disappointing? What things could they have done better? So let me know in these closing moments of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. Next, the Rice is announcing, or did announce. I like this. I like the idea, the concept of it. Rice football alumni reunion weekend. Huddle up. Going to take place September 6th and 7th. Friday, happy hour social. Saturday, tailgating. And then they're going to recognize some of the football teams. Rice Athletics and the R Association will welcome back former football players to Rice Stadium September 6th and 7th for the annual Huddle Up reunion. The centerpiece of the festivities will be Rice's football game against crosstown rival TSU at 6 o'clock on September 7th. Festivities begin on Friday, September 6th with the 2024 Huddle Up reunion social in the R Room in Rice Stadium at 6 p.m. The following day, former letter winners and their families will join at the R Association tailgate at Gate 1 starting at 4 p.m. as they prepare to cheer on the Owls that night. Along with welcoming back all letter winners with an on-field recognition, Rice will honor 4 previous football teams: the 1994 team, the 1989 team, the 2004 team, and the 2014 team. Football letter winners will receive 1 free mobile ticket or free entry with their R card. For questions about registration, please contact Alexis Garrett via email at alexis.garrett@rice.edu or call 713-348-6915. Again, that is Alexis Garrett at rice.edu or call 713-348-6915. All right, got about 4 minutes to recap everything. One thing, the Rockets group play schedule for this season's NBA Cup. The NBA will announce the schedule for all the teams starting at 2 o'clock Central Time, so a little under 70 minutes after this show ends, and we'll discuss the Rocket schedule on the next edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. The Cougs are in the news. The search process is speeding up. They're making progress on AD hire. Finally, we have names attached in the process. Finally, some of them are really, really qualified. This info from August 14th, CollegeAD. I love how they wrote this. The process, which has seen its fair share of twists and turns. And folks, let me tell you, some of those twists and turns, you just shake your head. I can't say what I've been told and heard. You would just shake your head at some of this stuff. But it really kicked into high gear early last week when Houston met with 6 candidates as part of virtual round interviews. And with that part of the process in the books, interview process has begun in person. CollegeAD reported that a Power 4 deputy AD who was not previously linked to the search has started to emerge in the process. And that person from a Power 4 seems to be this man, as reported by Joseph Duarte from the Houston Chronicle. Tennessee Deputy AD Ryan Alpert. He is among the finalists for the vacant job. He is believed to have met with UH officials last night, including head coach, football coach Willie Fritz. A source described Alpert as strongly in the mix, quote unquote. Keep in mind, was it Monday? That middle bullet right there. Duarte wrote that Eddie Nunez was the front runner for the job. So Nunez, 2 days ago, was the front runner for the job. However, Wednesday, according to CollegeAD, a 4 deputy who had not been linked to the search has started to emerge in the process. And that Power 4 AD, I believe, is this man, Ryan Alpert. And Ryan Alpert, Tran, how are you doing? Thank you for chiming in from the West Coast. Ryan Alpert, check out this info. Currently at Tennessee, oversees several major capital projects total nearly $500 million in total projects, including a $337 million renovation at historic Neyland Stadium. Going to make it an entertainment district. That's what he's in charge of. And here, he has complete annual budget oversight and long-term financial forecasting for the department. At Tennessee, they make money at Tennessee. Revenue generation has skyrocketed under Alpert's tenure at Tennessee, after finishing with an all-time high of $154 million in revenue in the 2022 fiscal year. Tennessee Athletics posted a record amount of just over $202 million for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. Whew. Any AD with SEC experience is a good pick. But Tran, I agree with you. But the question is, how much will Houston offer him in salary? Because I got to believe he's making a lot of money at Tennessee. And Chris Pezman was not making that much here at Houston. Chris Pezman making like $360 on base. $360,000 salary. It went up to, with incentives, to like maybe $550,000. But what base salary offer is Houston? Because it wasn't, initial numbers were not very high. Trust me, it wasn't. I'm not going to say what it was, but it wasn't high. But so, all right. Wrapping it up. Reminder, something new. Closing it out before I go to Sybil Wilkes. New way to support the Houston Roundball Review. Scan those QR codes. Cash App, Zelle, the tip jar from PayPal for the Houston Roundball Review. So 3 different ways. Scan those QR codes and support the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you to Mr. Tran, Mr. Cardenas, Miss Wanda Polk, Corey Miller, CA37 for his 2 contributions. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Rex32, thank you as always. Wrapping it up. Got to put this on the screen so you can see my shiny bald head. Keep this in mind. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace. Sybil Wilkes, you got it.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Thursday, August 15th, 2024. Number 1, the FBI has confirmed an investigation into attempts to hack the email accounts of Trump and Biden-Harris campaign staffers, including 3 Biden-Harris staffers and former Trump advisor Roger Stone. The Washington Post reported the investigation began in June, with Kamala Harris's campaign also confirming it was targeted by hackers. Former President Trump announced that a campaign website was hacked by Iran, while Roger Stone revealed authorities informed him his email accounts were compromised, and news organizations reported receiving what appeared to be internal Trump campaign documents. Number 2. Continuing his series on the 10 years after Michael Brown's murder, contributor Cameron Riley talks about DeRay McKesson. In 2014, a former educator gained national attention as a prominent figure in the Black Lives Matter movement after joining the Ferguson protests and using social media to document the events in real time. McKesson expanded his activism beyond Ferguson, addressing issues like LGBTQ+ rights, education reform, and voting rights, and he even ran for mayor of Baltimore in 2016. Despite facing legal challenges, including a lawsuit from a 2016 Baton Rouge protest, a federal court recently ruled in his favor, affirming his First Amendment rights to protest. Read more about DeRay McKesson in today's newsletter. Number 3, when it comes to sexual health, it can be hard to know what's normal and what could signal a potential health problem. Even if you embarrass easily when discussing certain issues, you should know your gynecologist has seen and heard it all. The What You Need to Know newsletter, along with our partners at Black Health Matters, have come up with 6 things you should always discuss with your gynecologist. Number 4, this November, several states, including Missouri and Arizona, will vote on reproductive rights, with both states recently approving petitions to put abortion rights on the ballot. In Missouri, voters will decide whether to amend the Constitution to protect the right to abortion and other reproductive health decisions, while Arizona's ballot measure seeks to enshrine abortion rights in the state constitution. Abortion laws will also be on the ballot in Florida, Colorado, South Dakota, New York, Maryland, and Nevada. Number 5, as students across the U.S. face mental health challenges, many schools are implementing yoga, meditation, and mindfulness exercises to help manage stress. Programs like Inner Explorer, which has been adopted by schools in Atlanta and over 100 districts nationwide, especially beneficial in low-income communities where students often experience high levels of stress or trauma. Research shows that mindfulness practices can significantly affect the mental health and well-being of students, particularly in schools serving children of color who have less access to psychologists and counselors. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Past experiences guide future choices. Use the lessons from previous decisions to make wiser choices in the future. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprilette Russell, as we discuss the day's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.